All right, bowling fans, those of you, thanks for joining in here on the 10 on the Deck Productions YouTube channel. 2019-2020 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. This is the semifinal round. They have about 2 minutes of practice remaining. And then they will be underway in their best 3 of 5 Baker game matches in order to try to make the championship round. One team already in that championship round as being our top qualifiers. We'll go over that information in a couple of minutes. And once we get into this Baker match play, about 90 seconds of practice left, and we will be underway here from Village Lanes in Monona. And practice now completed. And we are going to be underway here. With Sun Prairie versus Sun Prairie here in lanes 5 and 6. Each school was allowed to enter up to 3 teams in this Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. And once again, Sun Prairie showing their strength as all 3 of their teams have made this semifinal qualifying round. So there you see Sam Chapman starting things off with his partner Brianna Thurston in the left lane. They're bowling the Sun Prairie team of Taylor Jensen and Michael Polly on lane 6. It's the best 3 of 5 Baker. Matches for these teams. Winners advance into the championship round. A little later this afternoon, we'll bring you here on 10 on the Deck Productions. Already waiting in the wings is our top qualifier. Kenosha Bradford High School's Connor Wiseman and Stephanie Zagar. Hey, here's a surprise. It's a 10 on the Deck Productions show, and there's a Zagar on it. That never happens. There are your leading qualifiers. Steph Zagar leading the way with a 661 for her team in the 3 regular games qualifying. Connor Wiseman 593 for his 3 games. And in the 4-game Baker qualifying portion of the event, 221, 213, 177, 215 for an 826 total and a 2080 overall total for the top seed. There you see Sam Chapman. Chapman 635 for his 3 games qualifying. Brianna Thurston 517. And they held it together decently in the the Baker part of the qualifying, 180, 195, 187, 231 for 793 total at 1945. And they were the number 7 seed. They were the team that snuck into the cut in that number 7 spot. Taylor Jensen, Michael Polly, your number 2 seed. Just missing out on the top spot by 19 sticks as Polly, you see stepping up on lane 6, totaled 647 in his qualifying. Jensen totaled 567 for hers. And they had the best Baker block of all teams in this event. 214, 215, 225, 193 for an 847 total, and that number 2 seed at 2061 for the Sun Prairie team of Jensen and Polly. Let's take a peek over into our match between our 3rd and 6th seeds. Your 6th seed on the left lane, Kenosha Bradford's Sam Strash and Abby Smith. Strash totaled 610 for his 3 games of qualifying. Strash, 192, 215, 203. Abby Smith, 195, 183, 221 for 599 total. And in Baker, solid block for him. 203, 171, 175, and 226. And in those Baker blocks are all teams. The girls had the bull 2 of the 10th frames, and the boys had the bull 2 of the 10th frames, so they had to rotate their order as well. So that way teams had to put in an equal effort between the 2 players when it came to the Baker rounds. So Bradford, your 6th seed. This 3rd Sun Prairie team, your 3 seed. With Colin Cratchy and Sky Farr. You see Cratchy stepping up on lane 8. Cratchy totaled 646 for his 3-game total this morning with a sliding 10-pin. Move that one over about 2.5 inches without it falling. And that's going to leave Sun Prairie behind in this opening game. Sky Farr, 615 for her 3-game total. And a solid Baker block, 189, 200, 198, 203 for a 790 total. And that got this Sun Prairie High School team of Colin Cratchy and Sky Farr into the number 3 seed. We'll get back to this match as they're coming up a little ahead in pace. Let's get over our 3rd semifinal match play in 11 and 12, as these are our 4 and 5 seeds. St. Case, your number 4 seed, Mackenzie Matisse and Sebastian Beth. Matisse having a career day this afternoon during qualifying as she threw 225, 226, and 234 for 685, her lifetime high series. Not a better place to shoot it. Sebastian Beth, 196, 190, 181 for 567 qualifying block. And just a little up and down in the Baker games for Case with 164, 233, 212, 173. Still a 782 total and got him to 2034 for the number 4 seed. And Monona Grove, your number 5 seed, Ryan Knutson and Zoe Darwin. Darwin, 610 for her qualifying 3 games. Knutson, 644. Bit of a struggle early on in Baker from Monona Grove, 170, 151, 189. But bounced back in that 4th game with 221. And they have a chance to pull ahead in this match, but the 5-10 the result for Knutson. It's going to take a cover here in the 9th frame for Monona Grove to take the lead going into the 10th. And this is the game where the young ladies are finishing the 10th frame. We'll stick with Knutson here for a second, then we'll go back to the Sun Prairie Kenosha Bradford match. Great cover by Knutson to get that team the lead going into the 10th frame. Bradford well in command. They will be up 1-0. Let's get back over to 11 and 12. This match between Case and Monona Grove. Getting a little tight here. As the big double by Mackenzie Matisse, she keeps with the hot day. Quality count here, and she's going to lock up game 1 for her team. 9 is enough. As the max now for Monona Grove this opening game is 177. And Case takes that opening game 181 to 177. The teams will switch pairs. Or pardon me, switch lanes on the pair for game 2. Bradford's got that lead. After game 1. And a big shot here. In this match between the two Sun Prairie teams, with Taylor Jensen needing to strike and get 9 to pull out the first game for her team. Online, 10 back. Let's see if Taylor Jensen can pull out this opening game for herself and Michael Polly against their teammates. Normally teammates, not this game. Needs 9, and that's going to be a 1-pin loss. Wow, that's going to be a bit painful. Let's see if Jensen and Polly can bounce back after that tough loss against Thurston and Chapman in game 1. So let's get you the update here after one game. Lanes 5 and 6, Thurston and Chapman from Sun Prairie pull out that 1-pin victory against Jensen and Polly from Sun Prairie. The third Sun Prairie team takes the opening loss against Kenosha Bradford. And Racine Case takes the opening game 181 to 177 for a 1-game-to-none lead. Get you back over to the Case Monona Grove. We'll get you a little bouncing around this afternoon with 3 teams in play at the same time. Here you see Monona Grove trying to come back early in this game. Spare 3-bagger from Monona Grove. And Sebastian Beth trying to get some angle on that shot. Fortunately there. 10-pin is left, and they are going to be behind early against Monona Grove. The big break there for Zoe Darwin, leaving just the 6-10. Take a peek in over on 7 and 8. Bradford, Sun Prairie Bradford, the big win in game 1. And they had a good start early as Sun Prairie with Crowley and Farr opened back-to-back the first and second frames, but now here's Farr looking to put together a five-bagger for a team. 10 won't go, but they're still in the lead this game, down 1-0 in the match. And can't afford to do that during match play. If you're Abby Smith, slides past that 4-pin. And with the spare here by Sky Farr, you're looking at a 23-pin advantage in this game for Sun Prairie with just 3 frames remaining. Good toss there by Strash to try to get his team back in. They're just getting into the 5th frame, down on 5 and 6 with the 2 Sun Prairie teams battling each other. You've got Jensen and Powley bowling on the left lane this game, down 1-0 against Chapman and Thurston. And Chapman and Thurston out to an early lead here in game 2. And a huge break there for Chapman, taking the 6 down. Big shot here for Farr in the 9th for Sun Prairie. Comes a little light. Almost the 8-10, and now a bit of daylight for Bradford as they can max out at 214. Max with the conversion here by Farr and strikes by Cratchit. 217. So Sun Prairie not shut out yet, but a spare here is going to require Cratchit to match what Strash does for Bradford to take game 2. Quality cover there by Sky Farr. And a little breathing room now for Cratchit is just a mark with good count. Who even his match up at 1 game apiece. And we're going to get a peek in before Cratchit shoots his 10-pin at the Monona Grove and Racine Case match, as that one's tightened up. Mackenzie Matisse looking to maintain a 15-pin lead for her team and gets that 10-pin to go down. Monona Grove can slice it down to 5 with a strike, and that 10-pin will not go. For Ryan Knudsen, and Knudsen may find himself in a huge hole here. Depending on what Sebastian Beth does, first ball, the 10th, hits light, barely gets the 8 out, and that's going to put, especially with the miss, that's going to put Case up 2-0. Well, they learned their lesson last game. And Cratchit and Farr take game 2, 206-203. We'll get you back to the dueling Sun Prairies momentarily. As Monona Grove now finds themselves in the hole against Racine Case. And Thurston and Chapman find themselves with a huge lead right now against Jensen and Powley, and you just have to wonder on occasion that errant shot on the fill ball after getting the first 2 in the 10th for Jensen, what kind of emotional letdown the team experienced after coming so close to winning the opening game and instead letting it slip away. Case finished with 228 against Monona Grove's 191. Case up 2-0 on that match on 11 and 12. And we'll stick with this match here on 5 and 6 in game 2. As a mark and good count here by Chapman. Will shut out game 2 against Jensen and Powley, as Jensen Powley only has a maximum of 195, and it's just going to take 5 pins for Chapman to lock up game 2 and have his team out to a 2-0 advantage, regardless of how Jensen and Powley run out the 9th and 10th frames. So after this round's complete, we'll have 4 teams remaining. They're going to be facing off in single-game Baker matches, similar to what you see on the Fox Sports Rotholman doubles, 1 player from each team on each lane. And those 4 teams will battle for the championship. Championship today, each of the 4 teams in that championship round will receive a plaque for their school or bowling center, individual medals for the players, and for our winning team, thanks to H5G Brands, a fully customizable H5G jersey as part of the championship prize package today. I'd like to thank God for showing up in the chat, asking if I think you should be more specific about going to church. Is there a particular one you want us to show up at? I mean, you don't want us showing up at like Church of Satan. I mean, you're going to churches needs to be a little more specific, God. I apologize for calling you out on it, but I'm going to. Going to show up in my chat and ask me that question. I want clarification. That's why I usually leave the chat off on YouTube. So 200 for the Sun Prairie team of Chapman and Thurston, 2-0 lead. Let's get over to 7 and 8 as Sun Prairie and Bradford tied at 1 game apiece. And of course, we can throw a black cloud with the best of them. Let's let Sun Prairie get in the front 6, and then show Colin Cratchit leaving a 10 pin. He knew the camera was on the last 3 shots on that lane. That one's not on me. I save my black clouds for my time with Flow Bowling. Jason Jensen asked me, is that a question or am I yelling at anyone? No, I just want clarification. If somebody's named God is going to show up in my YouTube chat, I'm just curious on what church he actually wants me to go to. I mean, I know there's hundreds of thousands of them out there, but I just want clarification on which one he wants me to show up at. I don't do a lot of yelling on my commentary. No real reason to yell about anything. So sorry if anyone took it that way. It's just an honest question. Now Cratchit with the miss, but the big lead right now for Sun Prairie in this game. And it looks like Sun Prairie is going to be up 2-1 against Bradford in our 3rd seed versus 6th seed match. Let's get over to 11 and 12 again with Racine Case up 2-0 against Monona Grove. And Monona Grove trying to put some early strikes on the board. 4 strikes in the first 6 frames for Zoe Darwin and Ryan Knutson as they try to make the big comeback in this match. And Mackenzie Matisse with the big strike. Knutson answers, and looks like Kate's is not going to get the 3 and out against Monona Grove at this rate here in game 3. Well, here we go with Sun Prairie putting up a big game. They could be with 257 if Skyfire can punch the last 2 in the 10th. If a match does get to 2 games apiece, as you've seen these first 3 games, they are alternating. Which bowler bowls the 10th frame in each game. But if it gets to a 2-2 tie, gets to game 5, the team can choose if they want the boy or girl to finish. When it gets to game 5 like that, I think they should have the right to choose the hot hand at that point in time of the event. It's my tournament, my rules. Therefore, I'm making it fun for them and challenging. And you can see right there from Bradford, Abby Smith, a little bit of a struggle. Only one strike for Smith on that lane this game. I'm sure she's going to be happy to see lane 8 once again. And there it is, 256 for Sun Prairie. They take the 2-1 lead against Bradford in our 3-seed versus 6-seed matchup. Monona Grove says you're not going to get your sweep. They're going to take the Game 3 win over Racine Case, and we are only in the 3rd frame on that Sun Prairie versus Sun Prairie match, so we've got a little time before we have to get down there as Sebastian Beth struggling a little bit. When your high count's 8 and 4 shots, it might be time for a move or a ball change. And he's talking things over with his coach, Coach Brett, right now, thinking about what he may want to do. My advice would be strike a line on lane 11 so you don't have to go back to lane 12 in game 5. But Case was the higher seed. They were the 4 seed, so they decided on the lane choice. And still another 8 count for Sebastian Beth. JF pattern is just a slightly modified version of the Village Lanes and Monona House pattern. We took a little oil out of the middle, flattened it out a bit. I mean, these kids don't have to make PBA Tour quality shots out here, but they still have to make good shots. It's not sport compliant. It's 5-1 on the ratio. I mean, we took some out of the middle. As you can see, we didn't do a rear L between rounds. And they bowled 6 individual games, 4 Baker games with 2 teams on a pair during qualifying. So you don't see these players having to get in deep. They're managing the pattern pretty well. And right now, Racine Case just wants to hit the let's get the hell out of here button, get over to lane 12. Or get off of lane 12, get over to lane 11, as they're going to have their worst effort of the day to this point. We'll get back over to the Sun Prairie v. Sun Prairie match. With Thurston and Chapman up 2-0 over Jensen and Powley. Chapman looking to keep his team clean. And they're up 2-0 on the left lane. And that's going to be a big open frame when you're trying to shut a match out. And they get a little bit of a break there as Jensen comes light, leaves the bucket. Not an easy spare to convert. Brianna Thurston looking to get another mark on the board for her team. There's the bucket crumbler. And we need a cleanup. Oh, cleanup's already done on lane 5. That was one heck of a crumbler. Great cover there by Taylor Jensen to keep her team up by 2 pins with 2 frames to go. Problem is, strike here by Chapman. get a double on the board for his team and let his team take the lead going into the 10th frame. And a huge blower 7-10 is going to be the momentum changer in that game for Chapman and Thurston. Hey, let's return the favor. I understand they're teammates. I understand you feel bad about beating your teammate, but you see the mocking high five of each other right there. And that match is going to come down to the young ladies in the 10th frame. Count here important as well. Especially with Chapman working on a strike. This match could be dead even if he gets one pin here in the 10th frame, in the 9th frame. And now the thing for Michael Polly is don't miss a pin. Keep your team up by that single pin going into the 10th frame. Does the right thing, gets the one. So Taylor Jensen has a chance to play hero again. She had her chance in game one, almost did it through the double, but then left the 6-7-10 on the 12th shot to let the game get away from her team. And oh my, that was probably the worst shot Thurston's had the entire day. And here's the chance once again for Taylor Jensen to put a quality shot on the board and keep her team alive in this match. Her team down 2-0 in this best of 5. And a single pin, a heck of a lot easier to shoot than that mess that Thurston has on the left lane. But now, Thurston with the open, 159. And that's going to lock up the win of game 3 for Jensen and Polly. Let's check in here between Bradford and Sun Prairie. And Sun Prairie looking to end this game and this match. And they're going to do so. And they're going to move on to the championship round, as they've already surpassed the Bradford max. And the team of Colin Cratchy, Sky Fire, you're going to see them in the championship round. Opponents yet to be determined. And here's the big fill for Cratchy. Here's 256. And the win 3-1 for Cratchy and Farr over Kenosha Bradford's Strash and Smith. Lots of strikes getting thrown here between Racine Case, Monona Grove. Case up 2-1. And Monona Grove looking to even this matchup 2 games apiece. Monona Grove, 21 pin advantage, 3 frames remaining, and they've already posted a spare in the 8th for Monona Grove. Gotta love the momentum swings of match play. Sebastian Beth answers, keeps his team in it. See what toss we can get here from Zoe Darwin, and that's not going to be an easy conversion on the 2, 4, and 8, and that 4 actually got slid a little to the left. Tough cover, and Zoe Darwin gets it done. See what Mackenzie Matisse can do, and that's out of the gutter. And this one's looking like it's going to game 5. And with that ball there by Ryan Knutson, that's going to leave that match tied 2 games apiece. And Case is going to have to figure out that right lane in a hurry. They ended up game 3 with 149. And they'll have choice of what bowler finishes the 10th frame in game 5 in this match. Beth can't get the 7 to go. Take a peek in here. Sun Prairie squared. Thurston, you see, shooting at the 4, 7, 9. Her team already with 2 opens make it the buzzard, and her team already down 2 games to 1. I'm sorry, Thurston and Chapman are up 2 games to 1. So this match looking like it might be possible that it's going to head to a 5th game as well. And the struggle continues for Thurston and Chapman as Chapman 3-6, 9-10. .232 to 203 was the final in game 4. Monona Grove taking that game and tying that match at 2 games apiece. This match between Sun Prairie and Sun Prairie in game 4. Great cover there by Chapman, but that match looking like it's going to go to that 5th and deciding game. I'll try not to screw it up too many more times during the championship round. Jason Jensen. I was going Cratchy all day. Cratchy is the pronunciation. I'll go with the assisted version. Thank you very much. Don't get to see these young players too often, and honestly, I don't get a chance to really, between setting up, running around, making sure everybody's on the right pairs, getting the live stream going, and almost a big 4 conversion right there by Taylor Jensen. Slid that 6-pin tantalizingly close to the 4. And Chapman right now is going, what do I got to do? Find some momentum for my team. We were up 2 games to none, and now we're looking at a game 5. Peek in on this match tied at 2 games apiece, as both teams looking at starting with a mark and then an open frame in the second. As that Monona Grove Racine Case match is tied 2 games apiece. Well, it's not over in game 4 here yet, but it's getting close. And you can see there, Thurston not happy with her result. With the 2, 4, 8, and 10. See if she decides to. See, I would have, at this point in time, I would have wasted the shot. It's match play. And maybe tried a different ball and maybe try a different line. You know you're going to game 5. You got nothing to lose on count at that point in time. And it could have been one to stay with finding something for game 5. This match all even, getting in the fourth frame. Big shot there by Sebastian Beth. From Racine Case, let's see if Ryan Knutson can match. Fourth frame strikes. The wall shot. Takes care of things for Knutson, and that match is all tied. And Matisse can't get it to fall. Zoe Darwin leaves a single pin as well, so this is back and forth with half a game to go. And an interesting finish to game 4 here, as Jensen and Polly throw 172, but Polly left a Greek church in the 10th, and if you would have been a little errant on the count, he may have had a chance to let Thurston and Chapman back in the match. That's not the case, especially after Thurston's washout and then the hose job on the conversion. Great attempt. Headpin wraps around the 10. Both of the ladies from Case and Monona are making their spares in the 5th. All tied, 5 frames remaining. 2 games apiece. Sebastian Beth makes the quality toss in the 6th. Up to Knutson to match him once again to keep the game even. And the match is made. Mackenzie Matisse, 7th frame, looking for the double for a team. Pures it. Can Zoe Darwin match? On target line. And the 6 sits in the flat gutter, doesn't go. Conversion mandatory here for Darwin to keep her team within striking distance. That's the problem now pace-wise. You're going to let Racine Case get that extra frame up on you. And they may get a 3-bagger on the board, and Beth can't get the 10 to go. Headpin comes back in front of the 10 pin for Sebastian Beth. Good cover there by Zoe Darwin, but she finds her team down by 9 pins. So the Sun Prairie squared match, they have not even started their first frame of game 5 yet, so we'll get most of that game in as they're talking things over with parents or coaches and getting ready to go. We're going to stick with this match here. Sebastian Beth needs the cover, hooks away from it, and oh my, we've seen it so many times in this sport. The single pin miss is just the momentum advantage a team needs to try to take advantage. And the bucket crumbler of the 2-4-5 from behind by the head pin by Ryan Knutson gets his team in the lead by 3 pins, 2 frames remaining. I'm going to say it. These are the most important shots these young players have had all season long to this point in the high school season. And Mackenzie Matisse says, this is nothing. I'm going to pure this. I'm going to give my teammate a chance again. Oh my, Zoe Dawson needs some help. And she gets it. I honestly thought that was going to be a 2-4-5 light when she let it go. And now there's a chance. With Monona Grove up by 13th going into the 10th frame, Ryan Knutson can have his team come back from being down 2-0 and advance to the championship round here at the Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. And you just heard that ball. It was thumb hole all the way down. It just wasn't rolling real strong. So that's going to leave his max right now at 195. Sebastian Beth needs his first one in the 10th. He gets it as the max for his team It's 2:03. So the cover, no problem there for Knutson. It's not fully over yet either, as we've seen some bad counts come up and bite bowlers in the backside here. So even if Sebastian Beth can get 9, they may not be done. Because wait and see what Sebastian Beth does on this shot. The hand on line, mixes it up, and he's just going to need to get 2 or 3 pins on the fill shot. And Racine Case, after being up 2-0, is going to hold on, stay behind the foul line, keep it on the lane. Yeah, Racine Case can be advancing to the championship round. We will break the stream and start the championship round on its own stream. There it is. 5 is enough. 198, 195. Racine Case advances over Monona Grove. One heck of a battle. Let's get you back to our only remaining semifinal match. And Chapman and Thurston are in a big hole in a hurry, as Jensen and Powley come out with the front 4. And a quality cover there by Jensen. This is another match where the momentum swing was huge, as Thurston and Chapman had a 2-0 lead. And they've let things slip away. And that was a bit unusual for Powley, as that 6-pin slid and then dead stopped. We'll have to get that out of range taken care of. Looks like that's going to happen on its own. Well, the pin deck went back up, but we're still waiting on the rake. And just when they had a chance to get back into the match, Sam Chapman goes high, and that sleeper 9-pin is going to be one heck of a problem, especially when you're already down by 34 pins. Hooking back in, and the 9 is left. And Chapman and Thurston are in a world of trouble. And the 10-pin for Thurston. And the dream of making that championship round for Thurston and Chapman is going away quickly. And now we got the deadwood out of the way for Polly. We should have spare attempt from him momentarily. So we know 3 of our semifinalists already. Racine Case with Mackenzie Matisse and Sebastian Beth. Sun Prairie, one of their teams with Colin Krejci and Sky Farr. Kenosha Bradford's team of Connor Wiseman and Stephanie Zagar were our top seeds. They had an automatic seeding into the championship round. And whatever one of these 2 Sun Prairie teams right now, that's looking like the team that was the number 2 seed with Taylor Jensen and Michael Powley. And we're going to get that score corrected quickly for Jensen and Powley. If Jensen and Powley hold on, they were the 2 seed. They would bowl the second match against the other Sun Prairie team in the championship round between Krejci and Farr. And that would leave Racine Case with Mackenzie Matisse, Sebastian Beth battling our top seeds, Kenosha Bradford, with Connor Wiseman, Stephanie Zagar. Well, trying to get a glimmer of hope here for Thurston and Chapman. Polly says, yeah, I don't think so. I think we're going to end this one up. Good toss there by Polly. And for Thurston and Chapman, this one's going to sting for a while. As we have our final championship round participants with Taylor Jensen and Michael Powley. So, opening match when we come back, Kenosha Bradford versus Racine Case. And a couple of Sun Prairie teams will be battling each other. Then our championship with those 2 match winners. So we're going to take a little break on the stream here. We're going to get some cameras moved. We're going to get things in their proper places. So let's look at about 2:45 Central Time returning for your championship round here. From Village Lanes in Monona, Wisconsin, the 2019-2020 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. Thanks to H5G Brands for their help with the live stream of this event. And we'll see you back here at 2:45 Central Time for our championship round.